Unlock the secrets of Hernando County's court records without spending a single dime. Seriously, discover the powerful tools and insider tips right now. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a highly practical, surprisingly powerful skill that's literally right at your fingertips.
I want you to ask yourself, what secrets could you uncover if you had free direct access to government records? It's kind of the misconception that this stuff is just for lawyers or private investigators. Imagine the power of vetting a contractor before handing over thousands for a massive home renovation, or checking for property liens before buying real estate, or even digging into your own deep family history, all directly from your computer, absolutely free.
These real-life scenarios really hit the nail on the head. Mastering this skill is incredibly valuable for your day-to-day life. Whether you're doing independent legal research, verifying the background of a potential business partner to make sure everything's above board, or just ensuring there are no surprise tax deeds attached to a property you're eyeing, public records are an absolute game-changer of an informational tool.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, why we can access these records, then the types of records available, navigating the Hernando County portals, a quick step-by-step search guide, privacy limits, and finally, some best practices and disclaimers. Let's dive right in.
Section 1. Why access court records? First things first, we need to understand the legal foundation that gives you the right to look at this information.
You might be thinking, wait, are we actually allowed to just look all this up? The answer is a resounding yes, and this brilliantly illustrates Florida's constitutional commitment to transparency. It's known as the Sunshine Law, specifically Chapter 119 of the Florida statutes. Basically, this mandate establishes the public's near unrestricted right to inspect state and local government records. No specialized legal credentials needed. No way! You don't even have to tell them why you're looking, which is honestly pretty amazing.
Now, on a local level, the statutory custodian down in Hernando County is the Clerk of Circuit Court and Comptroller Doug Chorvett Jr. Basically, Doug and his office have the massive and, let's face it, probably exhausting task of organizing, archiving, and validating all these publicly accessible files so citizens like us stay empowered and informed.
All right, moving on to Section 2, Types of Court Records. Now that we know why we have access, let's explore exactly what types of files you can actually uncover. The sheer variety of judicial records available is wild. From property evictions and small claims disputes all the way up to felony and misdemeanor criminal history, it covers nearly every facet of the judicial system. You could also dig into family law records, so that's divorces, child support, along with probate and guardianship documents, and yep, even that surprise traffic citation from 10 years ago that you might have completely forgotten about.
Section 3. Navigating Hernando County portals. Knowing what exists is awesome, but knowing exactly where to look? That's the real trick. Hernando County splits its data into two primary online tools.
So you've got to distinguish between these two depending on what you're hunting for. First up is the Online Court Record Search, or OCRS, powered by the Civitech portal. This is your go-to gateway for court cases, active lawsuits, and legal rulings. But then you have Landmark Web. Think of Landmark Web as the database dedicated strictly to official county property records. That's your spot for property deeds, mortgages, and even marriage licenses.
Oh, and an aside, if you need strictly law enforcement data, the Sheriff's Office offers a totally separate portal. Over there, you can search recent arrest logs by date or name, pull offense and incident reports from the past 6 months, and even track civil data, like subpoenas or evictions served in just the past 3 days. Let's hit Section 4, Step-by-Step Search Guide. I want to make this super practical, so we're going to walk through exactly how to execute a search using the Landmark Web system as our example. Now, what's genuinely surprising here is how user-friendly the interface is. Let's be real. Government websites aren't exactly famous for their sleek web design, right? But this one has really clear icons for name, document, and case number searches. It's designed so you absolutely do not need a law degree to start finding what you need.
So if you're looking for a specific person, just follow these exact steps. First, click the name's search icon and accept the mandatory disclaimer. Then enter the last name, followed by the first name. Third, pick your document type and enter a date range to narrow things down. Finally, just hit Submit to view the records. Boom. It's a really straightforward funnel to pinpoint precisely what you're after. But a quick pro tip for you. Search engines like this require very precise syntax and formatting. If you don't find what you're looking for right off the bat, double-check your spelling and your date formatting. Seriously, a tiny typo can easily cause a false negative, meaning the document is there, but the system just couldn't match your exact keystrokes. It's highly sensitive.
On to Section 5, Privacy Limits and Troubleshooting. Because, well, transparency isn't absolute, and you're definitely going to encounter some friction due to privacy protections.
As a member of the general public, you fall into the public access tier. So your anonymous access is intentionally a bit restricted compared to what a registered user or an attorney of record can see. It's a tiered system to make sure that while the public stays informed, sensitive case details aren't just carelessly broadcasted to everyone on the internet. Makes sense, right?
The Florida Supreme Court actually has rules that actively protect individuals' privacy by masking sensitive stuff. So you'll hit roadblocks if you're looking for mental health proceedings under the Baker Act, substance abuse cases under the Marchman Act, or juvenile cases. Plus, things like unredacted social security numbers or sealed and expunged criminal records, those are completely off-limits to the public eye.
Finally, Section 6, Best Practices and Disclaimers. Let's talk about how you should interpret this data once you find it. Because raw legal data, it can sometimes be a bit misleading without context.
Always approach these records responsibly. Remember that this digital landscape is constantly changing, so records are subject to rapid updates. If you're making a massive life decision based on this, go verify your findings with the physical clerk's office. When you're looking at criminal logs, always remember the legal presumption of innocence. Oh, and here's a fantastic, proactive tip. Use the clerk's official website to set up property fraud alerts for your own home. It literally notifies you if anyone tries to record a fraudulent deed in your name. Huge peace of mind.
And that brings us to the mandatory but super important disclaimer from the Hernando County OCSR's portal. Basically, while this online tool is fantastic for informational purposes, a printout from your web browser is not an authoritative public record. It has zero binding legal force or effect. If you need official, legally binding documents, you still got to request certified copies directly from the clerk.
So, armed with this knowledge, you are now fully equipped to navigate Hernando County's digital archives with total confidence. It is this massive, transparent resource right at your fingertips, just waiting to be used. The only question left is, how will you use these free public tools to uncover the history hidden in your own backyard? Keep exploring, stay curious, and use this transparency to your advantage.